Hey there, everyone. Mike Mibach again here with KTVU Financial in the San Francisco Bay Area, talking with Winnie Sun, Managing Director of Sun Group Wealth Partners, about coronavirus, about money, all of it. I got to start with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. You know, she throws out this 48-hour deadline that she and the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, that they must agree within 48 hours on this coronavirus stimulus relief bill if we're going to see it, I guess, before Election Day. Yes or no here, Winnie? What do you think this is going to happen?
I don't think so. I think 48 hours is wishful thinking at this point because you've almost got three parties, right? You've got Nancy and Democrats, you've got the White House, and then you have Mitch McConnell on the other side. So I don't know. I think we'll see if it
Okay,
happens.
so
It'll be
just
happening.
following, if not, then what does this mean? Is this just never going to happen? Not that it can't happen after the election, but to me, it shows a sign that this is never going to happen. It's just going to be a long time.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. And if it doesn't happen, here's the sad part, because Americans will suffer because
Right.
we then won't have a package at the earliest until February. So more unemployment woes and a lot of concerns right now.
Okay. Hey, on when was it? 2 days ago, October 17th was the anniversary of the Loma Prieta earthquake, which was the big earthquake here in the Bay Area back in 1989. And 2 days later, here we are, another anniversary. October 19th is the anniversary of Black Monday. Anything we learned from that, you think, from then to what we're experiencing now? I mean, just I think the Dow dropped 22% just that initial day. But do you ever think about that or compare and contrast what we're experiencing now to that?
Absolutely. I think what we can learn from that, and same with 9/11 and so many other difficult challenges during the financial markets, is that America always comes back. And that's a really important thing to remember. So as we're dealing with volatility on the downside, on the upside, do know that you need to keep faith. Things will get better. And if you stay invested, things will improve. But these things will happen as we're living and breathing right now.
Election 2 weeks away, what, 15 days? Do investors touch portfolios or not before a presidential election? Or you just leave it alone? We'll see what happens.
It depends.
Yeah.
So for many of us, leaving it alone would make a lot of sense, especially for those of us maybe in 401ks or long-term financial goals. But if you've been investing, and I know a lot of people out there have been doing this, they've sort of taken a proactive approach. Maybe they've sort of cherry-picked a couple names that they think have done well during the pandemic, and they see some positives in the portfolio. However, if you need this money in a short term, maybe this is going to be like future, monies that you'll need within the year,
Mhm.
I would absolutely consider right now a good chance to take some profits off the table, because as we go into the election and beyond, you should expect volatility. And that could be on both directions. So I would say right now, if you're looking at some nice profit and you're going to need that money in the short term, take some, it's like going to get your hair cut. Time to do some trimming.
Okay. You mentioned 401k, 403b. Should we be doing any house cleaning here as we kind of wrap up the year when it comes to those?
You should. So this is actually a good time to be doing that. The number one thing you want to do is to make sure that everything's titled accordingly. So obviously it's in your name, but also I want you to do a check on your beneficiaries before the end of the year. A lot of us change our personal situations. We might not want the same beneficiaries on our account, so you should do that. The second thing you should do is just make sure that you maximize your contribution to the amount that your employer matches. So let's say your employer matches 3% or 6%. Make sure that you've contributed enough. It's free money. You got to do it. The other thing is, if you're still working, I would suggest you try to increase your contributions before the end of the year.
Hmm.
Given the fact that taxes are probably going to go higher in the future, take a look at that. The other thing you might want to do is update your 401k. If you're in a traditional 401k and you have the Roth 401k as an option, definitely do a deep dive and consider that perhaps now and perhaps for 2021 as well.
You know, last week, so retail numbers came out for September, 1.9%, I think, up. Um, I was a little surprised considering what we're going through. I mean, it's a good sign. I'm happy to see it, but what did you take from those numbers?
Well, Mike, we've been seeing like Amazon Prime Days, right? I mean, I
Right.
think the numbers were incredible, like
I
$3
bought
billion.
three things. I bought three things.
Did
Nothing
you?
big, just three items. So.
We want to know what those three items are, Mike. But I think many of us can relate to this. A lot of us shop during Amazon Prime days. You know, people are looking at the new iPhone, and certainly, although a lot of Americans continue to suffer, they're unemployed, but there's also a lot of Americans that continue to get that paycheck and are spending money. So that being said, going into the holidays, the retailers are looking and feeling very, very optimistic. They're saying because we can't go out, life isn't normal yet. We're going to do a lot of impulse shopping as well as a lot of guilt shopping. So retailers are expecting this year to be big as long as they can give us online ordering and convenient delivery and curbside pickup.
Yeah, I actually went into Home Depot over the weekend looking for a new faucet for a bathroom, and there was Christmas decorations all over the place. You know, I'm like, skip Thanksgiving and let's get right to Christmas. But I'm wondering, I was in there because I needed to see something. But do you think that when it comes to online sales, like that'll be a big factor in regards to if I don't have a good bit, and I'm specifically small businesses, if I don't have a good plan, you know, no one's going to come into the brick and mortars maybe, you know, during this pandemic, during this holiday season. I really need to beef up my online my online plan.
You need to beef up your online shopping game, Mike. So one of the things I would suggest, if you haven't looked at this before, I highly recommend, there's a website called cashbackmonitor.com. And so what that allows you to do is you can actually, what they call the stack. So you can actually earn cash back from your credit cards or different shopping portals. And by going through that site, it takes a look at all the different portals and maybe your travel credit cards to see like your Home Depot purchase. Like, not only could you get credit card points, but maybe you can even earn airline miles at the same time. So, you know, this is something I actually keep on my browser every day before we do big shopping, before my husband goes to Home Depot.
Okay. Last one. I mean, speaking of retail, do you think they're hiring then? I mean, usually they hire in this typical fourth quarter as they prepare for the holiday season. But if people are looking for work, I mean, is that one sector that they should be looking in?
They should. So if you're looking for work, this is something really easy that you can do now. Think about all the companies that'll probably do well as we go into the holidays, right? We know Target's hiring, we know Walmart's hiring, Amazon's hiring. They're looking for people to stock goods. They might even be able to hire you remotely. You just got to look for these different opportunities. And definitely any company that has a delivery service is definitely hiring.
All right. Next time we talk, I'm going to find out if we have that coronavirus stimulus relief bill. We'll know by then. Winnie Sun, always a pleasure with Sun Group Wealth Partners. Have a great week.
Thanks, Mike. Take care. Sure.